Thank you for listening to the annual Social Work and Law Symposium Speaker Spotlight. I am D'Angela Bynum, co-organizer of the annual symposium. Today I am with Shawna Hoyte, director of the National Institute of Forensic Social Work, who is participating in this year's symposium event as an invited speaker. Ms. Hoyte, thank you for taking the time to talk with me today so that our symposium community can learn a little bit more about you.
Very, very happy to be with you, D'Angelo, to answer Angela and answer any questions you might have for me. I'm excited about the symposium for sure.
I am as well. This should be a really great one. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So, jumping right in, you hold the designations of the Order of Nova Scotia, King's Counsel, Juris Doctorate, Master Level Social Worker, and Registered Social Worker. Did I get all those right?
You did. Yes, you did.
Okay. So would you mind telling us, how did you get started on the path to become a forensic social worker?
Mm-hmm. So my background is as a practicing lawyer, also as a practicing social worker, and actually started out in social work first, but when it was not a regulated body here in Nova Scotia in particular, or generally in Canada, until roughly around 1992-93, which was when I was doing my law degree. But I started working as a lawyer for the university at Dalhousie. And part of that is my role is to practice law, because I'm in a clinical trial program where I'm teaching third-year law students. And so as an educator, of course, wanting to share information, and then I had a number of the law students ask me about social work practice, because we're in a legal aid environment. Which of course, legal aid here in Canada is we're not charging our clients. It's a free service covered by government.
Oh, wow. So
law students were asking about social work and why I would be a social worker and a lawyer. And I certainly explained to them that a lot of the clients, the legal aid clients that were coming in to see me in my role as a lawyer, they wouldn't be in my office but for the social issues that they were experiencing.
Okay.
And then some of the social workers from the university sort of caught on to, oh, okay, well, she's a lawyer, but she's a social worker. So I started doing guest lectures, and then eventually designed a law and social work course that I teach. I still teach it on a regular basis in the Faculty of Health, which is our School of Social Work. And eventually started to investigate further this combination of law and social work, which led me to the National Organization of Forensic Social Work in the U.S., of which I'm a member, and taking courses and attend the conferences and such, and decided to bring that information that I was gathering about forensic social work, bring it to Canada, and focus more on developing forensic social work as a subspecialty here in Canada through professional development courses, online training. So that's the work that the National Institute of Forensic Social Work here in Canada has been doing under my direction as the founding director since 2016. I think we sort of got it recognized at that point, but the law and social work courses started a little bit earlier than that, around 2009. So we've been going there. And on this end of, when we look at forensic social work as a subspecialty area of social work practice in Canada, we take a very broad generalist lens in terms of social workers and social service workers who find that their daily practice or duties, whatever work they're doing, if they focus on the law, then basically we would say that, they should be trained in understanding various areas of the law to do forensic practice. So it's not the traditional sense of forensic social work vis-a-vis within the health field, or mental health field, I should say.
Oh, wow. You're not busy at all, are you?
No. Not at all.
You've done so much. It's amazing to hear the journey of just from learning yourself and then implementing it, bringing it back, and then developing these courses yourself. That's all amazing things. So thank you for contributing to all of that.
No, that's fine. And since bringing the courses on board, I mean, the courses run every school term, so in the fall and in the winter, and they are always jam-packed. They're online courses, mainly with Canadian content, and the interest that has continued to grow since 2016 is just amazing. And of course, the Institute now is doing work with government departments in terms of training lawyers specific to not social work, but specific to trauma-informed practices. All the things, the key components of being a social worker and trauma-informed anti-oppressive lens, that's the work that the Institute is doing now with lawyers and training lawyers to have a different perspective. So it's been exciting, challenging at times, but exciting.
Absolutely. So just kind of moving forward with this year's annual symposium, the national symposium that we're doing here, the name of your session that you're going to be presenting is The Emergence of Generalist Forensic Social Work Practice in Canada, Strengthening Collaborations in Legal Aid Services and Law Offices. So you were just kind of telling us a little bit about that. But without going into your presentation that you're going to be providing, can you give the listening audience a reason for why your session's topic is important and why they should attend your session?
Yeah, well, like I had mentioned, forensic social work is more of a common term that's used in the US and the UK, as well as even Australia. Not so much here in Canada. There are several provinces that will allow individuals within certain government departments to say they are forensic social workers, but there's no designation per se here in the in this country. We're working towards an accreditation, but it's not here yet. And what this particular session is going to do at the symposium is just talk about how forensic social work is developing here in Canada, specifically through the Institute, the importance and relevance of that, especially in these times, the times in which we live now, which are very challenging, whether it's in the US, whether it's in Canada. We're in a housing crisis here in Canada, major child protection issues. We have overrepresentation of African Canadians and people of color in the criminal justice system and such. And so we're working towards bringing social workers, social service workers into legal environments, mainly law offices, legal aid systems, to work collaboratively with lawyers to bring a different lens, a different view of who the clients are that they're working with, and that's even from a trauma-informed but also a cultural lens, and how those two disciplines, social work and law, can work collaboratively to the benefit of clients that find themselves in the justice system. And the justice system, I'm referring to family law, referring to corrections, youth justice system here, as well as adult criminal. But there are certain guidelines and boundaries that are important to understand, because when you bring two professions together, there's going to be competing interests. And we've got, as lawyers, we have our code of ethics and practice, but social workers also have a code of ethics and also standards of practice.
Absolutely.
So the session is going to be, how do those two disciplines and the codes come together so that it still benefits? Each can do their work, meet their obligations under their regulatory bodies, but yet offer the best service possible to the clients that they're working with.
That is such an opportunity. I'm so excited for this. Well, the last question I have is, what do you hope the audience will walk away with at the end of your session?
Yeah, I think just a better understanding of what generalist forensic social work means, because that's what the National Institute in Canada focuses on. We take a much broader lens, so that includes BSWs, MSWs, PhDs, as well as social service workers. So having a broader understanding of what the challenges have been and sort of the path of forensic social work here in Canada, but also where we're at today in terms of the collaborative work that we are doing and where more law offices are bringing social workers on board. But I also want to say that hopefully that session is going to be an interactive session. I hope I'm going to try to make it that way, so that I can learn as well. It's about me being able to learn from those that are participating or attending the session to bring their wealth of information back to the NIFSW here in Canada, so that we can continue to develop. And eventually the goal is to be able to see this work as forensic social workers without a border, right? Where there's no boundaries, where we can work together, whether you're in the US, whether you're here in Canada, to really focus on developing this subspecialty area as just that, as a recognized subspecialty, and its significance, importance, the role that it plays in practice, whether that's as lawyers or social workers in either country.
Well, the future of social work is ever changing, and I just appreciate you and all your contributions that you've done and will continue to do. And so, again, thank you for allowing us to get to know you a little bit better. Whenever you contribute with your symposium session that day, I'm excited to hear from you. Miss Shawna Hoyte's session is happening on Friday, September 29th, 2023 at 2 p.m. Central Time and 4 p.m. Atlantic, right?
That's right.
Okay. If you're not already registered for the second annual Social Work and Law National Symposium, please visit www.swlsymposium.com to register.